Hello YouTube, Jonas Weefield here with another console review. If you remember last time I did the Atari 2600 and this time I'm coming back. This time it's gonna be the Super Nintendo. I thought for the upcoming Genesis versus Super Nintendo video that I'm doing next year, I just thought I'd get the two consoles out of the way. Basically, first, I would have to say the Super Nintendo was a great console in its time. It was actually one of the greatest consoles of all time. Very memorable console. Outsold the Sega Genesis, even though the Genesis made more money, but we're not doing that. We're not doing that yet. The Super Nintendo had a lot of great games on it, like Super Mario World. It had, can't think right now, but, oh yeah, it had Super Star Wars games. It had Super Punch-Out, Super Godzilla, many more. It had Tetris, Dr. Mario, all that good stuff. Yeah. Basically, Super Nintendo was a counter to the Genesis killing the NES, as we all know. And it made one of the greatest gaming wars of all time. And totally ended up being one of the most memorable consoles ever made. Sold almost as much as the NES. I think both it and the Genesis were in the top 10 in most sold gaming consoles ever, which is impressive, but yeah, you get what I'm saying. Anyways, like I was saying before, it had great games on it. There were different versions of this console that came out. There was an American version, which I have it. It's the version that I have, and not too many other people have it. It's not that common. Then there's the most common worldwide version. Everybody knows about it, or at least the people who know about the Super Nintendo. There are more versions than that, but that's the only one that I can think of. It had different versions of controllers. Now, I've seen more of the colored button controller, which is understandable. That's how it was recognized. But there's also the purple buttoned one. Sorry if I keep referring it to strange names, but that's how I remembered it. Basically the console was just mainly gray and purple. However, consoles would become yellowish after a while. Luckily, mine has not yet. And, the controller had many buttons. It was like the shape of a bone, I would say. It had start, select, it had a D-pad, R and L, it had Y, X, A, and B. Yeah, it was pretty much like a normal controller, except more narrow, more skinny. And yeah, that was the Super Nintendo for you. Overall, it was a great console. Loved it. It had one of my favorite games ever on it, Super Godzilla. Just an overall beautiful console. And that's all I have to say about it. Be here next time when I review its biggest competitor, the Genesis. Goodbye, YouTube.